Hi everyone and welcome to Theo and Olaf. My name is Eric and with me here is Theo. He is enjoying a little snack here. He likes these little cream packets. They look like Go-Gurts if you know those old yogurt packets. It's kind of a way to get him out. But today I'm going to talk to you about the expectations versus reality of owning a cat. Theo is from a shelter and I had plenty of expectations of him when I adopted him. But unfortunately, Theo didn't always meet those expectations, and that caused a lot of frustration and a little bit of disappointment from time to time, to be honest. So I kind of want to give you a couple of tips for when you want to adopt a cat from a shelter. Number one, toys. When it comes to toys, a lot of pet owners go out and to the nearest pet store and buy all the toys they can desire, right? But really, I think when people buy toys, they're buying toys for themselves, not for their cats, because toys look kind of cool these days. I actually own a couple of Olaf's toys because they actually look kind of cool. But really though, you don't want to just go out and buy a bunch of cat toys because your cat may not like a lot of the cat toys you give them. Theo, he doesn't really care for plushes. He doesn't like plushes with catnip. He's not a big catnip kind of fan. He loves simple things like strings, rubber bands, paper clips, whatever you have around the house. He loves, but he loves wands. So wands with string, wands with a feather. He likes that very much. And he loves those. I guess the balls that go around in the circuit. He loves those a lot too. He's a very simple cat. And so I think when you adopt a cat from the shelter, don't go out and buy a whole bunch of toys. Buy maybe one toy and go from there. It'll save a lot of time, save a lot of money, and I think it'll save a lot of space too. Number two is playtime and playfulness. Some cats just don't want to play, and that's something you have to be okay with. With Theo, he's kind of active. He's not as active as I would like him to be sometimes when it comes to toys. But there are some cats that are just super active and they just always want to play. They want to crawl up on your leg. They want to always be the center of attention. But then there are cats you just never want to play. No matter how many times you put a toy in their face, they'll just either ignore it or they'll walk away. And so that's why it's important to don't always buy this bundle of toys because the cat may not like toys and they may not even want to play at all. Some cats just want to sleep. They want to just be to themselves, and that's something you have to be okay with. Number three is socialization. A lot of pet owners want a cat that is very social, and sometimes that's just not the case. With Theo, he is somewhat social, like he likes to be out with people, but he doesn't always come out and follow you around the house like a shadow. He is in his cat tree quite often, or he's in some kind of nook, or some kind of cat bed. So he's not always present with me or Irene throughout the day. He comes out at night when we're watching TV or moving on the couch, but that's kind of about it. He loves to hide. He loves time to himself. So I wouldn't say he's a very social cat. Number four, cat food. Just like cat toys, cats are very picky about their food as well. It took a long time for actually Irene and I to get Theo to like his food. We started him on a kibble diet, but then we moved on to a wet food diet and then on to a raw food diet. And because Theo's from the shelter, a lot of people there, the people at the shelter, they give cats dry food and that's what they live off of. So it's really hard to kind of transition them onto a raw food diet. We had to make the food look enticing. We had to add snacks. We had to heat it up to get the smells out. And so Theo sometimes didn't want it. He just walked away. He would sniff it and walk away and not eat for a while. And so it takes a lot of convincing and just a lot of time to get cats to enjoy certain types of foods. They like certain types of meats. They like certain types of textures, certain types of flavors. Theo loves beef and salmon and tuna. He doesn't like chicken. He doesn't like duck, and he doesn't like lamb. So now Irene and I know when we buy food, beef will always be a winner, but also cats get very bored with food very easily. So even though he have one type of food, he might get bored of that, and then you might have to go find another type of recipe for your cat. So something to be aware of. Don't go out and buy a whole bunch of food for your cat. Try in small amounts here and there, maybe like a tuna can or a salmon can, a small little can here. It costs about maybe $1 or so at the store, and try that out and see what your cat likes. Number five, cat litter messes. So regardless of what kind of litter you get or what type of litter box you get, you're always going to have a mess. I've tried an assortment of litter from fine grain to large grain to pellets to paper types of litter, And even litter that says less tracking, it always tracks on the floor. And depends on the type of cat you have. Theo is a medium-haired cat, so the litter always sticks to his fur. It sticks to the fur on his pads. And so when he exits the litter box, he always leaves a trail of litter for me to pick up. So be ready to always constantly pick up litter off your floor. So have a vacuum, a dustpan, a dust buster ready to go, because you will be doing a lot of cleaning from your cat's messes on a daily basis. Number 6, behavior. So when we talk about mental health, we usually refer it to humans, but we never really think about cats having mental health issues. So that's really the case with Theo, because Theo has a lot of trauma, a lot of mental health issues that we didn't know about actually until after we adopted him. The shelter didn't really notify us to tell us that, hey, your cat has some issues to work on. We didn't know until we actually looked at his paperwork. We learned that he was traumatized by a tomcat as a kitten, and he was found trembling. So when we took home Theo, he was constantly hiding in nooks, under the bed, under the couch, under bookshelves, and he wouldn't come out, and he wouldn't eat. He wouldn't even, be present with us, and that was really difficult to deal with. And so a lot of cats that come from the shelter deal with the same thing, no matter if it's a cat or a dog. Cats, animals always have something to deal with in the past, and it's up to the owner to really help the animal overcome those past issues. So that's why getting cat trees are important. That's why having toys, having food, having snacks, and making your cat feel loved by giving your cat affection really helps the cat forget the past and move on toward a better, future in some sense. And so it's really up to the owner to be patient and understanding. For me, I think it was the biggest struggle, because I expected a cat that was playful and loving and always present. I didn't expect a cat to have mental health issues. And so, yes, that really frustrated me, and it really made me feel disappointed having a cat with these issues, because I feel like I don't like animals that are weak. I like animals that are strong and are able to feel confident in themselves. So it took a lot of, myself to be okay with Theo. And sometimes I still struggle with that. I do want Theo to be a lot more confident. I want him to be more brave. I want him to try new things. But he still hides from time to time. He still has moments where he trembles because he's so fearful of something as little as, no matter if you look at him funny, if you touch him a certain way, loud noises, sudden movements would just really make him go hide and not come out, or he'd be in fear or tremble. So those are things to really work on with your cat. If your cat is dealing with those types of things, be patient, be understanding, see where your cat is coming from, and make changes if necessary. So number 7 is petting. One thing to note is that not all cats love to be petted. Some cats love to, but not all cats do. Theo, he's kind of a mix of both. He will tell you when he wants to be petted. He will give you his cheek, he'll give you his back, and then he'll say, okay, it's okay to pet me. But if I approach him, he might run off because, again, he has trauma and he thinks maybe I might be attacking him. But he loves Irene. He will rub his body against Irene's leg, and he wants to be petted by her. But because I'm more of an alpha type and Irene's more of a nurturing type, he might be more afraid of me, and so that's why I think I'm better with Olaf, because I have that kind of alpha personality that Olaf likes. But Theo needs a bit more of a nurturing personality type, so that's why Irene is that type of person to go to. And so for me, I need to kind of tone down my alpha-ness to come down to his level, so that he can learn to show me affection as well too, and not be afraid of me. And also, if your cat is showing some sort of aggression when you pet your cat, so if you touch your cat's belly or back, it may be a sign that your cat is in pain. So the first thing you want to do is to call your vet and make sure that nothing is wrong with your cat, because cats might show aggression if they are in pain. So we want to make sure that is taken care of. And if your cat is healthy and still shows aggression, you want to make your cat feel as comfortable as possible. And that's something you really want to work on with your cat. Show your cat affection, give your cat snacks, playtime, and just a lot of love. And that may change the personality of your cat. Now, to be completely honest, I still struggle with Theo from time to time. But in the beginning, I remember I wanted to get rid of Theo. I wanted to send him back to the shelter. And it's funny now, I say it now, but back then it was such a frustration of mine, because I just did not want a cat that was timid. I didn't want a cat that was not social. I didn't want a cat that was not very playful. And so Theo didn't meet my expectations. But so even still, I still love Theo. He is a great cat, honestly, because he doesn't attack. He's very passive, which sometimes I always think that's a negative, but honestly, I would rather have a passive cat than an aggressive cat. And there are moments where Theo's just very sweet. He will come to you. He wants to be, he wants to lay next to you on a couch. He just kind of wants to be next to you. Like when I'm at my computer, he wants to sit next to me and just be around me. And that's something that I really appreciate a lot. He has very good temperament. He doesn't attack. He's not violent. And that's something I'm very appreciative. I've seen many cats before where they just always claw you, they bite you, they hiss at you. And Theo doesn't do any of that. Of course, he has his issues with trauma and everything, but even so, he's a great cat, and I couldn't ask for a better cat than Theo. So he's come a long way since we adopted him. He loves the cat trees. He loves his food now. So he's shown a lot of progress since we adopted him. So I have to give him credit for that. So you may not always have a cat that meets your expectations, but in the long run, you'll start to see how special your cat really means to you. So if you have a cat that maybe didn't meet your expectations, let me know how you felt in the comment section below. And as always, if you like this content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bells for all things Theo and Olaf. Thanks for watching.